This is AAA. Welcome to Standout Society. On this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do a pop shove it in some simple steps, okay? I'll also explain a shove it, which is a little bit different than a pop shove it, just a little simpler, okay? So, we're going to start with a shove it. Now, the good thing about a shove it is you don't need to know how to ollie. You don't need to know how to pop the board up. All you need to do is spin the board, pretty much jump up yourself after you spin it and land back on the board. So it's very simple. What we're going to do is we're going to have our back foot. So in my case it's my left foot, in your case it could be your right, but we're going to have your back foot flush with the end of the board, okay? You don't want to have it over, you don't want to have it under, just have it flush, okay? Now, the same type of thing goes here with your right foot or with your outer foot. You're going to have it flush with the end of the board. You don't want it over, you don't want it under, same thing, okay? Now, that's the placement of your feet. The first step, I need to put this in a rut because it keeps moving and that's annoying. So, the first step for the shove it will be to, at the same time, push your right foot out or your outer foot and pull in with your left foot or your inner foot. So, what I mean by this is you're going to go in opposite ways. You're going to go out with one foot and in with the other foot. The way it'll look without actually spinning my board is like this. So like this, just to do a better visual. Opposite ways. Okay, so what you're doing pretty much is you're kicking one side of the board and you're pulling in the other side of the board. Now what that's going to do is give it enough momentum to spin fully by the time you land. Let me just say one thing right now. If you only push or you only pull, you're not going to get enough momentum to fully spin it. So I'm going to only push it right now and you'll see what's going to happen. So the board, it didn't even go all the way around, okay? So you need to do both at the same time to get the momentum you need to spin the board and to land back on it, all right? So for the shove it, get your foot in the placements halfway and at the end of the board. And at the same time, you're going to push and pull. So it's going to look something like this. And that's all you do. And then you land on it however you land on it, and you just adjust your feet. That's one thing too you'll notice with skateboarding if you're just getting into it. Adjust your feet as soon as you land. Just move it around, okay? That way you can stay on your board, because a lot of the times you'll you'll do a trick, you'll land weird, and then you'll hop off. That's like your first instinct. But if you stay on it and try to just adjust your feet, way more likely that you'll actually stay on the board and land it, okay? Now, we're going to do a pop shove it, okay? So, the difference between the shove it and the pop shove it is obviously the pop. So, if you're trying to do a pop shove, I recommend that you learn how to ollie first. If you don't know how to ollie, there's a video I posted right before this one. It's called How to Ollie, Simple Steps. It's not even 4 minutes long or not even 5 minutes long maybe, but check it out. It'll help you with ollieing and popping the board up. It'll make this trick a lot easier for you. So, what you're going to want to do is the same steps as before, the same foot placement as before. The only difference is before you spin the board, so before you push and pull your feet, you're going to pop the board up. And you're going to stay on it and not kick it out like I just did. No, I'm kidding. If you're starting, shit happens. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop the board up, sort of like an ollie. And as you pop, you're going to do the spin, okay? You're going to want to do the push and pull. So one thing I recommend, I'm going to add another tip. This isn't one of the steps, it's just a tip to make it look cleaner. Try to slide your foot out when you do the pop a little bit, or have your foot out. I know I said center of the board, but if you do it just past, it'll be a lot better because the board will get level in the air. So instead of doing a pop shove it like this, making it harder to land, a double impact sort of, you can go like this, level it out, spin it, land flat, okay? So it's sort of just like doing a little bit of an ollie, the first steps of an ollie, so sliding your foot or balancing the board out in the air. But you do your spin at the same time. It's kind of difficult. That's not one of the steps, and that's kind of a little bit more intermediate, I guess you could say. Like, I've only started doing that now that I've learned how to just do a pop shove it with my board up like this. But just a tip, not one of the steps. Thought I would add. So you're going to first pop your board and then spin it. To put it together, this is how it should look. Something like this, if I could land it. We'll do that again. You're going to pop and spin. Pop, spin, and then you land on it. Obviously, I'm not very consistent with my landings because I'm still new to this trick. I've just learned it not that long ago, but I've really come to the point where I've understood it enough to teach it. So this video is really coming from the perspective of someone that just learned how to do it, which is why it could help you if you don't know how. These are the simplest of steps for this trick. You know what? I'm going to stay here in front of the camera until I land it. And you guys can just slow-mo it or watch my foot placement, do whatever. Alright, and that's the pop shove. Hope this video helped you guys, and see you on the next one, baby. Cheers.